afterwards. As I say, we'll be getting underway in about 5 minutes' time, then we'll go through the structure of the evening, okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get underway, so take your seats. Just a reminder, turn your mobiles off or stick them on silent if you have got them. And we will get underway. Firstly, introducing Charlie Austin. Followed by manager Harry Redknapp. I've just been told he's on the phone. Here he comes. And Rob Green. And CEO Philip Beard is with us as well. Okay, the structure of the evening, we're going to start with a message from Philip Beard, just bringing us up to date with key club matters regarding new stadium, new training ground, other key matters as well, which have been brought up in the past. And then we'll be passing over to you guys for questions for Harry, Rob and Charlie. So without any further ado, I'll pass over to Mr. Beard.
Thanks, Paul. Just a real quick update, because tonight we're very lucky. Obviously, we've got Harry and Rob and Charlie, and I think last meeting was sort of, I seem to get most of the questions. But what we've been able to do over the last few months is have quite a few more sessions with club representative groups, and I think this is, the 7th meeting with either the club representatives or the fans forum in the last 8 months. So I hope you agree the communication's going well and much stronger. I just thought it'd be useful just to give you a couple of updates, and I'll keep them brief, but any more detailed questions you've got on some of these subjects, then either email Andy Rees, or if you've got my email me. We'll make sure we come back, and any specific points, give them to your club representatives in the room, and we'll use them as one of our sessions, which we have fairly regularly now. Just on a couple of things. Warren Farm, I mean, at the moment, you may be aware that there's a bit of opposition to Warren Farm that's delaying us a bit, but we're fairly committed to waiting those out, sorting them out, and then keeping our commitment to get Warren Farm up and running. Whatever happens, it's going to take us a couple of seasons to get into Warren Farm. I don't expect the delays to last too long. Ealing Council are very committed to it, as are we. So apart from the slight delay we've got, we'll keep focused on making sure that comes to fruition. The new stadium, I mean, a lot gets talked about the new stadium. This is a long-term project. It's going to take us several years. I was actually down in Brighton yesterday, had a look at their stadium and their plans for a new training ground. I mean, these things take years to get together and put together. And I don't really want to sort of talk too specifically about the plans. Suffice it to say, it's very much in our plans over the next few years to get a new training ground and a new stadium. I know, talking to the club reps, making sure that we replicate the atmosphere that we have at Loftus Road is the primary objective for everybody. We want to make sure that the same voice and the same sort of fervour and passion we have at Loftus Road can be taken to the new stadium whenever and wherever that is. Just a couple of very small, one particularly small. Lotto have been I know this is being streamed, but we've had our chance. I'll keep it sort of fairly sensible. But we've had some challenges with Lotto, and I know the fans would like to get all their kit early in the season. I mean, it has been really difficult. What I can say, it's the last season that we have with the Lotto contract, so unless that vastly improves, we will be going with somebody else. There's been a huge amount of interest, given the plans at QPR for a new manufacturer, and we actually are in the very last throes of putting something together, which I think will be very exciting for the club. One of the things I know that is a big issue for everybody is the family stand and where it is and how it works and everything else. I hope the guys that are here from the fans supporter groups will appreciate that we spend quite a bit of time talking about it. And the reality is, at the moment, unless somebody can come up with a really magic solution, trying to move it is not going to be easy. So we'll keep it on the agenda, but at the moment we have to keep it as it is. As I say, I think communication has become a lot better over the last year or so. I hope you agree with that. Andy Rees has done a great job of liaising with all the different fans groups on a regular basis. This season is going very well, which I guess is the right time for me to shut up and pass it over to the people who really have started to deliver for the club this season. And in Harry and with Rob and with not a 10th fate with Rob's sort of record as it currently stands at the moment, but with Charlie also on the score sheet regularly now, things are going well, and the rest of the squad, the spirit is great at Loftus Road. But that's nothing to do with me, that's to do with these guys. So Paul, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay, with regards to questions from the floor, if you have got a question, just raise your hand. We have Andy and Matt with microphones. Just make yourselves known. They're at the back there, so if you can just make yourself known to them, and then we'll get the questions underway. What we'll do, firstly, start with Mr. Redknapp. Harry, you must be delighted with the start we've made after the difficulty of last season.
Yeah, obviously it's it's a new season, and what happened last year happened, and I think we put a new team together in the summer, a new squad, and it's a much better place, I think. At the moment, the training ground's good, the players are performing, we've got a good group of lads who are pleased to be at QPR and want to play for the club, and I think that shows in the performance. The attitude of all the players that are here now is first class, so it's a big difference.
Okay, and first question from the floor, Matt.
Well, it's this one. Cheers. It's an honour to kick this off tonight. Hopefully it's a decent question. Greetings, Harry, Rob and Charlie from the We Are the Rangers Boys fan site. And just want to say congratulations on a fantastic start to the season, and thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
Question for Harry, please, and if there's time, a quick one for Charlie. Harry, with the benefit of hindsight, if you can cast your mind back to the close of the last transfer window, at the time, did you feel satisfied with the squad you'd assembled, or would you ideally have liked any further additions, and if so, can you say in which positions?
No, I was pleased. I thought we did some great business in the window. We did leave through no fault of our own. We ended up being a little bit short of strikers, obviously, because Bobby picked up an injury and has had an operation, Bobby Zamora. And Andy Johnson also picked up a bit of a knee injury, so suddenly we were definitely short, and we were left. We had Charlie still, but that was an area that was But you don't know these things at the time. We had 3 strikers, and we looked, we tried, we searched everywhere to try to maybe even bring in a 4th striker at that time, but couldn't really find anybody that, we got down the road with a few, but, suddenly they were too expensive or went elsewhere or, whatever. There was always, through no fault of the clubs or anybody here, it was just the way it worked out. We just couldn't quite find anybody really that would fit the bill. So we went with the 3 lads, and but now we've brought in a Uruguayan lad, Cheverton, who's come in. He looks, a decent. He's been a top player. He's played, Seville, Monaco, and he looks sharp, good attitude, very bright player. And so he's in here now, and but hopefully Charlie can keep doing I'm sure he will anyway. But if we need a bit of support for him now to play up there with him, we've got the boy Cheverton, and hopefully Andy Johnson won't be too long. He could be back in a couple of after the next break.
That's great. Good news. Quick one for Charlie.
Okay.
Charlie, what is your preferred team formation to best suit your playing style, and why?
Careful, Charlie.
As long as I get picked, that's all that matters. No, that's not for me for me. I just want to get out there and whatever formations played, score as many goals as I can.
You don't have a preference?
No.
Charlie's brought his straight bat with him this evening. We've got a question at the back as well. Just before we go to the question at the back, if you are watching on a stream, you can send your questions in using #FansForum. If you're watching via Twitter, you can also email fansforum@qpr.co.uk. The question at the back, please.
Yeah, good evening. I'm John Reid, Secretary of the QPR LSA. And just to put it on record, it's not often I have very little to moan about, but it's getting worrying. I'm happy every week watching the team, so I hope that continues. And just to say, it is teamwork, and congratulations that everybody who goes out on that pitch is putting the shift in this year, and I think that's the key to success. I think we'd also like all of us put on record that thanks to Mr. McLaren, who did an excellent job in preparing the team. So I wish him well, but not too well, because they're our rivals. I know it's not related to you, Harry, or Charlie, or Rob, but I think it is important that we get the best away following in the games to come. And what we would like is, I know Fulham have looked at free travel. I think they've contacted Joe here to run a taxi to away games. But if we can actually lay on subsidised or free coaches to help fans, because it's an expensive business following the team around, and there's probably about 800 hardcore fans that go to every single game, and I think we want them there, and if the club can look at doing that. Thanks a lot.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
And just following on there regarding Steve McLaren, how big a loss is that? And did you half expect it during the season? No,
not really. No, I thought Steve would be here, but once the Derby job came up, then obviously as soon as I saw that, I heard that Nigel Clough had lost his job, and I thought Steve was obviously the obvious choice, having played there and been assistant manager there with Jim Smith, so. But no, we enjoyed having him. He was great, and I think it done him good. I think to get back to coaching was probably what he needed. It's a different game, coaching to managing, and I think to get out on the training ground every day is something that he really enjoyed doing. I think without the pressure of worrying about picking the team or different things that go on in management, I think it was great for him. I mean, he would probably go back refreshed now, ready to do well at Derby.
Okay, question on the right.
Hello, Harry. Paul Moore, QPR DSA. Yesterday, you were quoted as saying that you don't want the players back that are on loan. Remy is a world-class player. I would like to see back in the QPR shirt. But what I'm asking, Harry, is you've sent the youth out on loan as well. Are you trying to say that you don't want the youth to come back?
No, I want all the kids back. No, I want the kids back. Absolutely want them all back, The senior ones, I hope they go and do well at their clubs, and the clubs buy them, and good luck to them. They all wanted to go out on loan when we were in the first division, I'll be honest, so I'm quite happy for them to do well at their new clubs, and we all move on from there. The lads here who are trying to get us out the league, they didn't want to jump ship. Rob stayed and whoever else. So those that wanted to go and felt that QPR wasn't the club for them, they wanted to go and play in the Premier. I wish them well. I hope they do well. I hope the clubs pay the money for them and keep them. And I'm sure I can find plenty of good players. It won't be a problem.
Talking of Rob, I would just like to wish you the very best of luck on Saturday and make it 8 in a row, please, Rob.
Cheers, thank you.
With regards to that, Rob, is there I've never known such pressure on one clean sheet.
Oh, don't.
I've played him worse. I've played him worse, so no, it's a wonderful position for us to be in as a group of lads, and for me to be getting the supposed accolade for that above anyone else is great. But at the same time, it's still, we've just turned into October, and we know it's nothing worth celebrating now, and you carry on. And it's a pretty dross thing to say, but it is true in that you can have as many clean sheets in September and October as you want. It's getting them through the season, and if you end up with at the end of the season with 25, 30 clean sheets at the end of the season, then you've had a successful season, because as I said before, it only takes one goal, as we've seen, to win a lot of games if you keep a lot of clean sheets. And with that, it's been fantastic to play behind the lads, the new lads that have come in, and the lads who are still here, and so made my job a lot easier. And as you say, long way it continued.
1-0 or 4-1 on Saturday? What would you take?
Ask Charlie.
I think I'd be more relaxed at 4-1.
Okay, and we've got a question at the back there.
Hi, Harry. Obviously, Nedum Manu is out injured at the moment, and I've heard that we have a Hearts centre-back currently training at the club. Is that an option, looking at him getting a short-term deal whilst Nedum's out injured?
Yeah, we've been looking, and that is an area again that we are just a little bit short of cover. You know, young Max Amer came on last week and did well in the last little spell of the game, which was good for him. But yeah, that's an area that we could do with just a little bit of cover if we can find the right person. So we're looking there.
Okay, a question for Charlie. How does playing for QPR compare to your previous clubs?
Obviously, the previous clubs was at Swindon and obviously Burnley. I think for Burnley, the last 2 years was to maintain championship status and fight for the playoffs. I think for QPR, it's all about promotion this year and winning as many games as you can.
And it must be pleasing now that you seem to have hit the goal trail in recent weeks.
Yeah, I think it's nice for any striker to get that tally going, and that's the main thing for me, to score as many goals as I can.
Okay, and Harry, for you it must be pleasing as well. I don't think there was ever any doubt that Charlie Austin was going to score goals, but it must always be pleasing when your striker starts to get in amongst them.
No, Charlie's he's a goal scorer. He's scored goals at every level that he's ever played at, and you know, I think there's even lot more to come from him yet. I think he's got the potential to really be a top striker in this country. I really do. You know, his game is good. His game is improving all the time. You know, I think the sky's the limit for Charlie, and I don't just say that because he's sitting here. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't become one of the leading strikers in the country.
Okay, if you have got questions, just raise your hands. We've got a question there at the front. And Harry actually, on October the 19th, celebrates 30 years as a football manager. He'll do so at Millwall.
Oh my God! Oh, I'm sure they'll give me a nice welcome.
Just briefly, how much is the
Actually, that was the first ground I ever went to. My dad took me to Millwall. First game I ever saw, professional. No, I was about 7. The old man took me to Millwall.
We'll pay up there, though.
No, don't wear your scarf.
Okay, we've got a question there.
Don't know if it's like just a quick question. I don't think there's anyone that's not anything other than delighted to have Rob Green in goal. Question about the situation with Cesar. Clearly, we're still paying him a huge amount of money each week, and he's not on the bench. I think he's changed his tune recently and said that this is where he wants to be. I don't know if he is training. I saw he was in the team photo. But what is the situation, given how much we're paying him and he's not out on?
Well, Julio's he broke his fingers, you know, which was a shame in training. But he's a top goalkeeper. He's a top professional, just like Rob is. We've got three amazing goalkeepers. Lad Murphy's a fantastic goalkeeper, I think, as well, and a great lad. So. He's here, and his attitude's been first class. You know, when he was able to train before he did his fingers in, he's got on with it, and he'd be another 5 or 6, 7 weeks before he's fit to even play. But I think he needs to go. You know, he wants to go and play somewhere. You know, he'd probably be the Brazilian goalkeeper in the next World Cup. So, you know, I think in the January window, I think he'd probably be looking to move on and go and play before the World Cup comes round.
Okay, and with regards to the World Cup, a question from Paulos on Twitter to Rob. What do you see as your chances, what do you think of your chances of being able to get back into that England squad ahead of the World Cup?
Difficult. You look at it and you never say never. And it's something that, you know, as a professional footballer, I've been to 2 World Cups and a European Championships, and you want to rack them up. You want to keep going. The experiences are great. And
the QPR fans, which they recognise as a difficult time, meant to you, and what did it mean to you during that period as well?
Yeah, it was generally really sort of heartwarming and pleasing, and it was tough last season. I don't think anybody in this room enjoyed themselves, and probably apart from Charlie. And it was. It was, you know, as seasons go, up there for me for difficult ones through not playing in a team. As I said, it was something that was at times out of my control, and it's difficult when you're playing and you're struggling. It's even worse when you're not playing and you're struggling. So, you know, these things happen in football. It's a moment where you take stock of where you are and where you can improve and what you can do as a professional. But when you come out to play, you want to have, you know, you want to give you all. And if it's not any sort of hidden winning formula or anything like that, I think if you go out and the fans and the people in the room here see that you are giving your all for their club, and they see that, and they see that you're giving 100% and you're genuinely trying and you genuinely feel for the club and for the fans, then you know it's reciprocated. And so everywhere I've been, you give 100% for your club. It's how you brought up, it's what you think as a person, and you always do your utmost. And you know it's been great here, as I say, and loved it.
Okay, and a question on the right here.
Jimmy Murray, Independent Rs. This question's really directed at Harry and Philip Beard, and it's really about our Irish fan base. We have a large Irish contingent of fans that come over from Ireland regular, spend a lot of money. Some of them are season ticket holders, and if they're not doing that, they're meeting in pubs in Ireland to try and watch us on Sky. And it's about a pre-season tour. I wonder whether it's a possibility at some stage in the summer to maybe go over there. I think we need to grow a fan base. We talk about a 40,000 seater stadium. We need to fill it. It's not a million miles away, Ireland. And I just think there's real potential there. And I think they give us loyalty. And I think maybe the club should give them some loyalty. I think the fans here would enjoy it over there. Not necessarily expensive to go. It's not far away. And it's a place where they can come relatively easy. Say booking time on flights are not that expensive. So I'd just like to know your views, really, what you think on that.
No, it's a good place to go pre-season. I mean, I've been over to Ireland many times with different clubs, you know, on the pre-season trips, and there's good games over there. So it's certainly I think it's an interesting place to go, you know, for a pre-season tour. Wouldn't be a problem. I'm all for going. To be honest, I'm quite happy going to, you know, Scotland, Ireland, wherever, playing games. We went down to the West Country this year, rather than going abroad somewhere, and we, you know, that was good for us. I think we trained well down there. The lads were great. We enjoyed it. You know, played at Exeter, and you know, I think that you haven't always got to travel too far if you can help it. And I think Ireland is a good option at some time for a game for sure.
Okay, question here at the front.
Cheers for the last 9 games, lads. It's much appreciated after the last 2 years. Just about transfer policy, really. If you look at the last 4 summers, really, the one 4 years ago before we went up, we were sitting there in the summer and we signed Clint Hill, Sean Derry, Jamie Mackey, Paddy Kenny, and we thought we'll have a decent mid-table, if not playoff season. We ended up storming a division. The next 2 seasons, we signed England internationals, world-class, stellar names from around the world. And well, we all know what happened the ensuing 2 seasons. This summer, again, we've had what we would all call a sensible summer, and look what's happening. So I was just wondering, Harry, what you think about the kind of revolving door policy that this club seems to have on every single transfer window, and maybe keeping it sensible as the way to go in future.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of, you know, you bring in players that you feel confident will do the job, and players that you know, and it is difficult when you're in the Premier League. You know, you're looking to, you know, lots of big names did come in, and they were players that we all thought would do quite well, you know, and unfortunately it didn't work out in lots of cases. But I think the group now, you know, have been very, you know, good group of lads, as I said before, and they weren't gambles really. They were lads that we knew and we felt confident would do a good job for us. And I think that's a key when you're bringing players in. If you know them and you know about them and you know what to expect from them, you don't get too disappointed.
Okay, and a question from John Leeson. Firstly, thanks for giving the club back to the fans. Do you still intend, this is to Harry, do you still intend to somehow get in an additional striker and central defender on loan at least until the January transfer window, thinking specifically the extra burden on Charlie Austin at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we're looking at. We're looking at some cover at centre half at the moment. You know, Nedham hopefully won't be too far away. And yeah, we are looking. We see how Andy Johnson is in the next week or couple of weeks. If he's fit, then we're okay there as well. We've got Charlie, Andy, and we've got the Uruguayan kid. Who we brought in. So we look okay there.
Okay, and a question from Andy Moore. It's been a great start and the team are solid, but are we getting enough quality balls into Charlie? He's been awesome. We haven't had a striker like him since Les. We just need that final ball to get better. What do you think? I think that's from C. Austin.
Is that to me?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think we need to get a better final ball?
Well, we've got good. We've certainly got good wide players at the club. When you look at the wingers we've got here now, with Matt Phillips coming in, Junior, Sean, and Nico Cranchar played off the left last week. Where he can play fantastic, and so I don't think Charlie will be short of service. But it is difficult playing up on your own. It's not easy. But if you look at the modern football of today, there's not that many teams that play with two strikers. Teams tend to play with a striker and a number 10, maybe, plays and drops in. Or play with, you saw Bayern Munich last night play with two wingers and a striker, three forwards. So very few people stick two strikers up front. Some do. Charlie's old club, Burnley, are doing it at the moment and doing very well, scoring goals. But I think you'll find most teams now want to get control of the game by playing either a number 10 or playing three in midfield or whatever. It's changed a little bit in the last year or two.
Okay, and a question here on the right.
I did. I'm Paul Finney, QPR Independent Hours and podcast in general all around Pain the Arse. Just to Harry quickly, you're looking for a new coach. There's a guy called Jerry Francis who's out of work and not doing much these days. Be great. And also, how good was it that Steve Gallen took the youth team to America and beat Milan and Liverpool? And is there some hope that there's some youngsters that are going to be knocking on the door soon, do you think?
Yeah, hopefully. I think the kids are progressing. And the younger group are good, and the under 21 group, development group. There's some good young players in that as well. So we're hoping that we will start getting one or two breaking into the first team. And it was great to see the lads go away and to win the tournament is always good. And it was Steve Gallen and Kevin, Kevin Gallen, a big part of this club over the years. Kevin was a fantastic player here, and he's a lad who did some coaching, and again, I'd like to get him involved with the kids at some stage. They're real QPR people, so it's good to see the kids developing for sure.
Okay, just raise your hands if you have got questions. Two guys at the back desperate to hand a mic over, so just stick your hands up if you have got a question. Question for Rob Green. You were around the training ground last season. Clint Hill has said there were times when players didn't train and didn't even want to travel to away games. How shocked were you by what was going on?
It was a strange time. It was obviously a difficult time. It was one that didn't go to plan by any stretch of the imagination, and I think it's difficult when not everyone is pulling in the right direction. I think whatever season you're playing in, particularly in the Championship now, it's a long season and you need everybody on board. And when that doesn't happen, you witness it at times when it's maybe one lad, maybe two lads, but when there's a number of players or a number of individuals, not purposefully sort of dismantling the group, but in there being selfish and not looking towards the best for the team, then it really does hinder the operation and hinders the group. And as a senior professional like Clint, you look at it and you think, you're one of the lads who knows the history of the club and has been around sort of the area longer than maybe players from abroad and things like that. You try and drag people through and drag them in the right direction, but at times it's too much, and you need the people to want to be able to do it, and at times that didn't happen last season. And you can have the best people in the world in terms of a manager, in terms of your senior professionals, in terms of a club, but if someone generally doesn't want to do it, then they don't want. You can't make them do it, and that was it was a difficult thing and a disappointing thing. I mean, it's not so much a shock, but because you see it in your time. I've been around professional football more than half my life, so you see it. But when it happens to you, it's immensely disappointing.
Okay, question on the right, Steve.
Steve says, Independent R's. Got a question about Joey Barton. A few months ago, he was tweeting that he wasn't going to play for QPR in the Championship, and obviously now he's playing fantastically most of the time. I think most people agree. Is there anything you can tell us about his change of heart? And quite frankly, what are you putting in his Weetabix?
No, I mean, I'd never worked with Joey before, and this year was the first time I'd ever come across him or met him, so... And he's come back pre-season, worked hard, trained well, and obviously played well. So he's in the team because he deserves to be in the team. And, while he's here, and I think he's enjoying his football, and he's been a big influence on the team when he's been playing, for sure. So let's hope he continues to do that, There's no reason why he shouldn't. When his head's right and he's playing, he's a good player. Very good player. Pardon?
The referee staff is back.
Yeah, I'm sure. He's one booking away from suspension already. So we need him to be a bit. I don't think he'll quite make the 5. I think he'll be. As a betting man, I would like to have odds he don't. He gets to 5 before the. Huh? Yeah.
He'll do it against the Millwall.
Oh, don't. Well, get a booking. Well, get a booking. Well, get a booking.
Or sending off.
Oh, I'll leave off. No, that's all we need. No, we don't know sending off. So you need a disciplined squad because you can't win games when you play with, you need 11 men. You need people to go out and be disciplined. And at the moment, I think he has been unlucky with his bookings. I think 1 or 2 of them definitely weren't deserved.
And unlucky with goals as well.
I think a lot of the fans as well, with regards to Joey Barton, they feel that perhaps some teams are niggling him for a reaction as well. Is that something you've had to speak to Joey about, or is that something he's fully aware of? That
No, I've never really seen anybody niggle Joey for a reaction, to be honest with you, Paul. No. I think he's the last person anybody would want to niggle for a reaction. I think it's the exact opposite, really. I think they just, they want to keep being mates with him or something. No, I couldn't agree with you there.
Is that because you're on crutches?
Yeah.
Okay, a question for Charlie. Charlie, at the moment, things are going really well. You're playing really well, but as has been said often, only a few years ago, obviously you were playing non-league football. Is it something that still takes you by surprise how quickly you've progressed in the professional game?
Yeah, I'd say so. Obviously, it surprised a lot of people as well as myself, but I'm happy. Obviously, the progression's gone as quickly as it can, and obviously, I've not forgot about the non-league. Obviously, I remind myself when I have bad days and stuff of how life is on the other side.
Do you think that's actually helped you, as you say, where you have difficult games, difficult days, whatever job you're doing, but when you do have difficult days, you think about what it was like non-league?
Yeah, of course. As just say, as non-league, I worked as a builder as well, and that was tough. And obviously that's helped me, like I say, coming into football. And when you look back at that, you always try and look on the positives.
Okay, and a question for Rob. Rob, some of your family are QPR fans. Would that make promotion extra special should we achieve it?
Get him off my back, yeah. My brother-in-law's a QPR fan. He's still a bit twitchy around game days, but knowing that I'm in goal. But he keeps quiet. He's been fine. I think he's been a QPR fan long enough to know the ups and downs of being a QPR fan. So he's good as gold with it, really.
Okay, remember just to raise your hands if you have got any questions. Question for Harry from Kevin Gadd. In your opinion, what has been the main difference between the Championship and the Premier League?
Well, obviously there is a difference, but there's obviously a difference in standard between the two divisions, you know. But I feel we've got a good group of players here that could play. I think, you know, most of them wouldn't have a problem playing in the Premier League. Well, I think all of them. I think, you know, they're all capable of playing Premier League football. So, but there is obviously a difference, you know. Getting back to Charlie, if I can just tell you a quick story about Charlie. His granddad is a big pal and good friend of mine. He's a fantastic character, larger than life Aussie. So about 8 years ago, I suppose, Aussie tells me about his grandson playing football, and you know, so he said he's playing. Was it Hungerford, Charlie? Was it? He said he's playing for Hungerford. I went, oh, lovely, Aussie. You know, I wasn't really interested, really. You know, and he said he's really good. You want to have a look at him? I thought, I'm managing a Premier League club here, Aussie. You know, I mean, he's trying to tell me about his grandson who's playing for Hungerford, so I wasn't really that interested. Anyway, a couple of years go by, and suddenly someone rings me. We start looking at a kid at Swindon who we liked, you know, and now I see Ozzy. He said, how about my Charlie's doing well? I said, where's he at, Ozzy? I'll be honest, I didn't know Ozzy's surname. He was Ozzy, and that's. I said, where is? I went out for dinner with him one. I said, where is he, Oz? What's he doing then? He says at Swindon. I went, not Charlie Austin. He went, yeah, of course. I went, you know, we'd had right good reports on him, and I realised the next thing he went to Burnley and scored goals at Burnley. But that was the way back the story, you know, and his granddad told me about him about 8 years back, you know. Always listen, you never know. But everybody's got a good grandson, haven't they? That's the problem. And Ozzy comes to all the games, he's the most lovely fella. What a great character. QPR now. QPR, he's here every week, don't miss a game.
Okay, and a question from Froda in Norway for Harry. What do you think Tom Carroll's best position is?
Midfield. It definitely ain't in goal or somewhere, you know. Where does Froda want him to play?
I'll get back to him and
ask
find out.
Froda, yeah.
Okay, stick your hands in the air if you do have any questions. We've got a question down here on the right-hand side, just while we're waiting for the mic to come over. Harry, Barnsley this weekend, how much would it mean to sign off going into the international break, picking up 3 points, especially on the back of Burnley and Leicester doing so well this week again?
Well, you know what these games are like. We've all been around long enough to know this will be a tough game Saturday. You know, if we all start sitting and think, oh, it's only Barnsley, we murdered them, it don't work that way, does it, football? They'll work hard Saturday, they'll come in, have a real go, and we've got to be ready for that. You know, I saw them a couple of weeks back at Bournemouth, and they got beat 1-0 in the end with a late goal. But they'll work hard. They'll be difficult to beat. They got beat by the odd goal at Leicester last week. So we've got to be ready for it. It'd be great to sign off with another win before the break. Sure, we want to, you know, it's a very important game for us, but certainly not a game that we'll be taking lightly. We know we've got to play well to win it.
Okay, question on the right.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this, but I don't know if anybody can answer this question. But UDS, I went to watch them the other way, Ipswich at home. Why are not QPR fans allowed in? Because everybody else got in. The ice cream man and geezers walking past. You know, everybody got in except the QPR fans. They weren't allowed in.
Where was this? I'm sorry.
EDS games at Harlington.
Oh, right. Oh, I don't know. Why not? I can't see any reason why you shouldn't be allowed in.
Six of us are standing outside.
Oh, well, I can't agree. I can't agree with that. Why you couldn't? Surely you should be allowed in.
No, but on the website now, it actually says that for EDS games, spectators are not allowed in. I find it a bit weird.
Well, I don't agree with that. No, I think that's wrong. I couldn't agree with that. You know, why shouldn't you be allowed in?
Sure.
You know, you come in. It's fantastic to have people. I don't understand that one. No, I can't see that at all.
So what I thought a bit strange was Scouts got in. And
absolutely.
Everybody else got
absolutely.
in, but we couldn't get
Why
in.
Why not have a few people support? It makes it better for the players if there's a few people watching. It's great to have you come over.
Sure, that's fair.
No, let's whoever, you know, let's sort it out. It's wrong. I don't agree with that at all.
Okay, a note will be made of that and it'll be passed on and that'll be looked into.
We'll also tell him, while you're on there, Harry, while you're on there, when we went to Yeovil, right?
Yeah.
Yeovil got up to, they phoned the SA, they invited us up to their social club.
Right.
And they invited us into their club.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Good.
right.
Good.
They invited us.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, they're saying.
Yeah, it's good. Good.
Yeah. But hang on, you know how long it took us how long to get out of there?
Oh, that night, yeah. Yeah.
You know how long it took.
Yeah, it was a difficult difficult game to get away
Yeah.
from. Just a reminder as well, on the stream, if you do want to send questions in, use hashtag fansforum, or you can email fansforum@qpr.co.uk.
Good, good. No,
But
it's
if you
nice,
have got
that's
any
what
further-
it's about. It's a good little club, Yeovil. Very friendly club, isn't it?
If you have...
Your coaches there, often your car was behind us, they wouldn't let us out. Up 6 before we started moving.
Yeah, that was a bad accident that night, wasn't there?
Okay,
Someone got died, someone
Yeah.
got killed. But it's under our control.
Yeah, of course. Nothing you can do.
Under our control.
Yeah.
Well, they can't do nothing about it.
No, no.
Okay, if you have got any question, got a question here on the... Sorry, just in front of me.
Right.
Did he?
We're at Kempton?
No, Wolverhampton.
Oh, right.
I don't know if he won.
Okay, we've got a question just up there in the middle. Thank you
was
very
it?
much.
Hello. Hi, Emily from...
I've got a horse running tonight.
Hi, Emily Foster from the Queen of the Park Rangers blog.
Where are you from, Emily?
Queen of the Park Rangers blog.
Queen of the what? What does that mean? What's it?
It's just an irreverent blog. There's a
I don't know what a blog is, that's the problem.
Good point.
What is a
It's probably not worth reading.
Okay.
I've got a question for Charlie. It's a light-hearted question, but when we signed you on YouTube, there were a few videos that were going around of all your goal celebrations for all the goals that you'd scored at Burnley. And we haven't yet seen the sliding sort of movements that you were doing over there. Will we see some fun goal celebrations in the next few goals?
You like them, didn't you?
They're wicked!
You like them, hey.
Absolutely.
You like them sliding movements at Chelsea.
Absolutely.
I bet you blogged them.
Answer, please.
Saturday.
Or Saturday night.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got a question here on the right-hand side.
Rob, you've kept all these clean sheets. Now, it was great to see your celebration against Ipswich, who I know gave you a little bit of hardship. Which was your favourite clean sheet?
Being completely impartial, they're all as pleasing as each other, but the one against Ipswich with, Tom Hitchcock scoring the winner, he's the goalkeeper's son, goalkeeper coach's son, and obviously with my history of playing for Norwich for a number of years, I moved there when I was 16 and had a history of scrapping with the Ipswich fans there and stuff like that. So it's one that I enjoyed, and it was just the great thing about scoring the last minute. They ain't got any time to score another one. So it's that was a particularly pleasing game, and those sort of games at home when there's this question earlier about the number of getting crosses into the box and stuff like that. It's when teams come here, it's going to be their biggest game of the season, and it's going to be they're seeing it as their toughest away game of the season, purely on the strength of our side, and it's going to be tough to break teams down, and it's imperative that everybody understands that. And Ipswich game proved to be that, because they made it hard. And you look at the Brighton game; they're just going to come and make it hard, and they say, "Well, we'll take a 0-0 draw." If everybody got given the option this season of coming to Loftus Road and taking a 0-0 draw, then they'd snap your hand off. So it's going to be difficult with breaking teams down, getting crosses in, playing the free-flowing football that we did on Saturday every week, and and such as it proved against Ipswich. And however which way they come in this league, if you can get a winner, then it's brilliant.
Okay, there's 10 minutes to go, so if you have got any questions and you're waiting for the time to ask, now's probably that time. Just, Rob, looking back on that, obviously with the Ipswich clean sheet, and it was fair for everyone to see that they were giving you a fair bit of abuse during that. second half in particular. How do you block that out, particularly for a goalkeeper when you're walking down? You know you've got to stand in front of it for 45 minutes.
You just, it's you don't particularly. You focus on the game. You're so involved in the game mentally that you get on with it, and when it, as the game goes on and a moment like that comes along at the end of the game, then you say, right, okay, I've waited 45 minutes, an hour for this, and I'm going to enjoy this moment. But it's, but particularly when it's right at the end of the game, before any time. During the game, don't particularly do anything to incite their fans. Just keep them as low key as you can, because it's, there's nothing worse than having a really vociferous away end, and so. During the game, he's just focusing on the game, and realistically, I can't remember how many games I've played now. I've probably been abused in all of them, so it's not like it's not like it's anything new. I mean, there's a couple of good incidents that you remember where they get particularly personal, but other than that, it's water off a duck's back now.
Okay, and we've got a raffle coming up as well, so we'll bring the stubs down shortly. As say, any questions, then stick your hand up now and ask them. And Charlie, a similar question to you. When you are on the receiving end of a load of stick, obviously we played Swindon earlier this season at Loftus Road. Is that something that you're able to block out just as easily there as Rob says?
You try and block it out, because you're concentrating so much on the game and trying to get the result for the club. You try and block it out, and obviously you hear it and stuff, but you try not to take no notice of it.
Okay, and I wouldn't imagine it bothers you, Harry, when you're subjected to any of that?
No, not really. It's, you get used to it, don't you? I mean, it comes with a job, I suppose. That's part of... I think as long as it's not, we can all have a bit of banter, can't we? But I think when it gets personal, and that is, there's no place for it really, is there?
Okay, are there any further questions? We've just got a question down here on the left, Matt.
Harry, are we doing anything to scout players in the lower leagues and non-league football who are perhaps in their early 20s with potential to step up to the level we require and beyond in the near future? Is a question from one of our forums.
Yeah, of course we have a scouting system, and we're always out looking, always watching games. So. If there's anyone out there with plenty of potential, we're hoping to looking for them. There's been lots of good players come out of non-league football over the years and lower division football for sure. So, there's any good. Very good, very good.
Okay, and final question of the evening. I don't think you need the microphone, to be honest.
Oh, no, let's end up with a sensible one. Come on, that's...
Charlie. Right, we've got Burnley there in a couple of weeks' time. What do you reckon? Come on, give me it, boy.
We're going to win, aren't we?
That's what she's supposed to say.
Okay, and we've got a final question just over here, and then we'll... Charlie's predicting...
Harry, as you know, obviously Steve McLaren left in the week, and you've said about how much you credit him for our start to the season. Will you be looking at bringing in a replacement coach at all?
I don't know. I haven't discussed that with Phil or the chairman or anybody at the moment, so I don't know. We've got Kevin and Joe. They've been with me, throughout the years, and so we'll wait and see what happens.
All right. Cheers,
see what happens in the future, but.
Okay, and what we'll do now...
You're not a coach, or you're not looking for a job? Hey, no, do you fancy it? No?
No, I'll leave it to you.
No, I thought you might fancy a bit of coaching or something. Come on.
Harry, he's my curious.
Okay, what we'll do now, we've just got a brief raffle before we close up. We've got a retro QPR shirt signed by members of the 1982-83 team, and we've also got an offer for a winner plus 3 guests to come to Harlington, watch training and meet the players and manager afterwards. So, Harry, if I can just ask you to draw out the first name. This is for the 82-83 retro shirt signed by members of that side.
Matthew Wolfe.
Matthew Wolfe, that's you in the front there. Okay, so you've won this shirt. We'll give it to you in a moment. Round of applause for Matthew, please. Okay, and this is to come along to Harlington with 3 guests, watch the squad train, and also to meet the players and manager afterwards.
Anne Turner.
Anne Turner. Congratulations, Anne. Well done. I'll speak to you in a moment. We'll get your details. And just before we go, Harry, if we can have a message from you to the QPR supporters. They've had a difficult last year, and certainly they're enjoying what they're seeing so far.
Let's hope it keeps going well. I mean, you know, we're all desperate to try to get promoted this year, and we'll certainly continue to give it our best shot. That's where we're at. We all want it. The players want it. We're all desperate to get this club back in the Premier League if we can. There'll be ups and downs, you know. That's the nature of football. But I think if we keep going the way we are and keep showing the same attitude, I think we've got a great chance this year. So.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for manager Harry Redknapp, keeper Rob Green, and striker Charlie Austin.
Thank you. Thanks for your support.